talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Las Vegas Raiders. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out in the tackle and make sure.
And he coughed it up, and the Raiders pick it up. Always got some breathing room. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Mike Williams,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Raiders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And some room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll send the tight end in motion. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Raiders at 0-8 now on the year. And they come in mired in a brutal stretch right now. Losers of 8 straight games.
Could you imagine being in those coaches' rooms right now? And you remember the old expression, there's no such thing as a bad idea? That's really true right here. They're searching for any idea, anything that can galvanize this team and find the victory and get them out of this losing spin.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory down at the 31. And some space here.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case,
and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there.
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Back to throw here.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Jonathan Abram picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
play action. They'll throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. It'll be a pickup at 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they come into this one with an 0-8 record. The playoffs obviously out the window weeks ago. For now, their season boils down really to one question. How do we come up with that first win?
It's a great question, and I do think that they'll get it because they've been close a few times. In order to get it done, morale has to stay high, so a lot of that goes on the coaching staff. You know, easy to coach when you're 7-1. That's a piece of cake. But with their record right now, how do they manage to keep these guys going in the right direction? And they're going to need some help from some of those veterans in the locker room as well. It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd and 6. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That one tight to this point, and you have to imagine it will stay tight throughout. Touchdown! A big play there. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Raiders continue to pull away here in this first half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw here.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 45-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
2nd down at 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th. He'll look to throw.
Got a man. It's Waddle, complete.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and the Raiders are going to have it here just past the 25. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But that's what they have to do more defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory.
45 yards on the ground for him so far.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. Got an open man. It's McLeod. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know the securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Back to throw. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll set up to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And it is starting to appear, thankfully for them, that this is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak. They're not home yet, but in control in the fourth quarter. 60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Nick Needham picks it off.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. This a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge up to the field, fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Right back to him on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Adams, the man in motion left.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okuwebe now. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out. They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
They'll get that complete to Albert O. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
2nd and 11 now.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll find McLeod on the right side, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 14. First down, Miami.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Got a little antsy there from his Mike linebacker position.
Partner, there's times you think you've timed up the quarterback's cadence. You think you've got a read on it. He might have thought it on that play.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And when you break it down,